Alright, so I'm gonna try to keep things like super simple and like as I go about setting up the market and lining up everything, I'm gonna explain why I'm doing what I'm doing. Alright, and so just bear with me because you know what I'm saying, this is my first time, teaching everybody. Trying to teach people how to do this. So what you're looking at right now is a couple of trend lines that I've already placed on the market. All right, I am currently right now in the monthly time frame, in the month time frame. And so what that means is for each one of these candlesticks, which are these purple bars, you probably see them as they're normally red and green on other people's charts, but color doesn't necessarily matter. Each candle right here is a month time frame. All right. So if you look at the bottom of the dotted line right here, at the bottom it says Tuesday 1st, July 25th. So this is the current month candle wick. All right. You got June right here, more June, May, April, March, February, etc. All right, and it varies based off what time frame you're on. But what I'm doing right now, I don't trade on a monthly time frame. I normally trade on the 5 minute time frame, to the hour, depending on it's just personal preference. But I normally like either the 5 minute if I want to be getting in trades quickly, and an hour time frame if I'm thinking about being in trades throughout the day. So let's see. So like I said, so what I'm looking at here is a couple of trend lines that I've already drawn out. All right, and what these trend lines basically are showing is a trend of different point of interest that the market has hit a number of times. All right, so an example of that would be this red one right here that we're looking at, this red trend line right here. All right, I drew this one down. It's in a downtrend state because looked like the market was in a downtrend at the moment, right? Can I just delete this? All right, so like I was saying, anyway, I'm basically trending points of interest that the market is taking, right? So if we take a look up here, kind of where I have my first point of interest for this trend here, this red trend here, that's going to be a point of interest because the market hit this price and it turned back around and it went down. All right. And we can see again recently here, it also hit this trend line, also hit a certain point of interest, and it turned back around. All right. So these trend lines right here just kind of give us like a playing field as to what the market might do. All right. I also set one. You set one on the top and the bottom. The top line is always going to be the resistance. All right. And the bottom is always going to be the support, because what most traders want the market to do is hit this trend line and turn back around. The market is resisting against this price point or this trend line, if you want to put it, and it's going back down. All right. And on the support, what traders are wanting the market to do is hit this trend line and turn back around and go up. All right. And that's how traders, make their entries. So I'm going to continue to mark it up and explain what you're looking at. So right here, we have an uptrend on the market because the market is going up. So we have a point of interest right here, and then the market hit it again here and here. Now, to make a trend, you want to kind of hit a touch point where the market has, you want to kind of mark up 3 touch points is basically what I'm trying to say. All right, and I'm gonna show different examples because this one could have been a little bit better, but you always just gotta adjust to what the market is showing you. All right, so I put my first interest here, interest A, and then interest B and C. All right, so those are my 3 points of interest. Drew the line here, and now I already got my area on the month time frame. But like I said, we're just marking it up right now. All right, so then I'm gonna go to the day time frame next. All right, so now I'm on the day time frame, and I want to try to scope out a trend. I'm gonna try to get one for y'all. So let's see. If I start here, at my point A of interest. You got boom, and then you got boom. Here's another point of interest. Let's see though, but I don't really like the way that one looks. I feel like we can find another one. So let's test. Let me zoom in a little bit more actually. Bring it a little bit more local. You want to try to stay local to the most relevant like point of interest. So let's see. Yeah, this doesn't look too bad. Let's see, we place a point of interest here. And we place the next point of interest. So if I was on my computer, it'd be so much better. Next time, I want to make sure I record on a computer. These can all be considered. These can all fall right on the trend line right here because, like you can see right here, the market is hitting its trend line and it's turning back around, and it's done that more than one time. So if we go back over here, we can see that it's also done it here. Hit this trend line a couple times and it's turned back around and it's dropped. All right. Now I'm actually gonna make this trend line green because it's in an uptrend. The market is going upwards. All right, so it's gonna make it green so we know that this is a uptrend resistance right here. This green trend line. Let me see if I want to use that trend line actually, which seems fine. I don't like to keep too many lines. I don't like to have, no damn disco party going on, laser beam party. So we'll see, but I'm just trying to show you guys how to spot, trends, like how to start creating your trend lines. Let's see if we take a look here. Wouldn't be able to do this one because it's already been disrespected. And I don't like, me personally, I wouldn't want to put it here because it's still a fresh point. Some people might do that, but not me, low key, to tell you the truth. So I more so would just kind of not mark that up. Like if you don't see something, that's okay. That's more so just gonna have to, it's gonna be a waiting game. You're essentially gonna be playing it out. But let me see what I can cook up. I really don't want to use that trend line right there, and that's okay. This would still be the area, like the playing field, of the trade that I'm looking for. But yeah, just like the month for this time frame, each candle wick is a day. Each candle wick is 24 hours on this time frame. So each purple bar is it's gonna change, become a new bar every 24 hours on this time frame. I also do not trade this time frame. Let me make that clear again. No. Here is what we're potentially looking at right here. This one right here where it says possible support. Normally, I would not put the trend line right here just because it doesn't seem like it has enough activity on it just yet. So I would normally delete this and I would be playing, and it would pretty much open up my playing field versus just being in this area. You get what I'm saying? Which would mean it would be kind of less profit, I guess, is why I wouldn't really put the trend line here where it says, possible support. You know what I mean? And so what I'm thinking is, let me see. If I were to delete this, Actually, we're gonna leave it and let's go to the 1 hour next. I also skipped the 4 hour just because I just don't feel like it's, necessary for me to do that specific time frame. All right, so I mean, that 1 day trend line it actually is kind of holding up a little bit of weight, actually, a little bit of respect here, as you can see on a 1 hour time frame. Now, on a 1 hour time frame, each one of these candlesticks, for my people that don't know, each one of these is an hour. So, as you go down, down the time frame to like the lesser hours, you'll start noticing more candle wicks start to happen. So it's a lot more movement in those shorter time frames. Let me see how I want to do this. Here is cool. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing. Now I'm gonna mark up the 1 hour. Let's do it like this. So I'm just trying to get want to make sure you have a good point of view of the market to mark it up. So we're obviously looking at this damn ad. We're obviously looking at a downtrend right here. So let's find some interesting points. Let's see. We can go maybe from here to see. No, not there. Okay, cool. You could play this right here. Boom. We got 3 point of interest on this touch. You know what I mean? Right here. Right, and right here. This is the other one. All right, so that's 3 touch point interests on this trend line. Why the hell is that not deleting? All right, there we go. Anyway, so I think this one is good to keep. Don't really see an uptrend to make, so we're not going to do that. All right, and so this is going to be our 1 hour. This is our 1 hour resistance. Damn, I'm tweaking. Sorry, y'all. All right, this is going to be our 1 hour resistance. And so let's see. We're just kind of like creating a playing field to start trading in. And then if you don't see anything else, I would move on down to the 30-minute. And once again, you just kind of want to make sure everything is lining up. You want to make sure everything is lining up. Let's do the same thing for 1 hour. It lines up, looks good. Now right here, I low-key, this would just be adding too many damn lines if I was to low-key try to play that. But I'm not. And I don't, some people may, I don't, you wouldn't make the current candle a point of interest. If that makes sense. But I keep saying interest. But anyway, so I would say it looks fine for the 30-minute. I don't really see anything that needs to be marked up. Boom. So I will come on down to the 5-minute, and this is where I would start, playing if I seen an opportunity right here. You get what I'm saying? But I do not see an opportunity simply because the market has went too far away from the trend line. We've already missed that moon. You know what I'm saying? When the market, it came down, it hit this trend line, started going up, came down again, went right back up. So already, we already missed that wave. But that's cool. That just means you got to keep your eye open for the next one. And that's when, you would utilize, I would set an alert on this trend line right here so that the next time, if the market decides to come back down to this trend line, I could expect that maybe, just maybe, it might flip around and we could expect a buy. So, again, at this point right here, you could have potentially went for a buy. Maybe took profit right here. or you could have continued to let the market go on up, and it may continue to go up, and you may receive further profits, more profits. Now, so that was just kind of like a basic run through of how I use the market, and there may be other tools that I might use. I don't use any other indicators other than the trend lines and levels, but I'm gonna definitely show levels in a different video. I'm gonna try to get y'all started with one thing at a time. You know what I'm saying? But so anyway, yeah, right here we would kind of really just be waiting. It would be a waiting game. You wouldn't be entering a trade because you want to play and enter trades off the trend line. That's how you use trend line, the trend line strategy. And just looking right here, I can see a level right here. So like, don't mind this, but I'm just looking. So, and this would just like once I get into levels, this would kind of just give you another, support, and this would kind of help you sit in another zone right through here. All right, so to show you what it would look like when you would enter a trade, right? I'm gonna get our blue pen here and check this out. So you see, let's just say before the market, let's just say we're here for real in the market time. The market, we're like on one of these candlesticks, right? So just let's pretend the market isn't over here just yet. All right. So if we take a look here, we can see the market bounced off of that was our first point of interest where it came down. Kind of see it started there. It boom touched the trend line again here. It came back down. That would be something you can profit off of. But the big entry here would have been when the market decided to cross over this trend line right here. All right, so we can see the market crossed over the trend line and continued to skyrocket. And that's because it no longer respected the trend line and price decided to go up. All right, let me get some of these off right quick. Price decided to go up after that. Now, what that means for us is, if this was me, let's say we were on this candlestick right here, right? We're on that candlestick right there, and we would be paying attention to what this candlestick would be doing. Boom. Some people, as soon as they see it cross over, they would have gotten into the trade. That's just, a risk of its own. What I like to do is wait for a confirmation. And that could be once this candle crosses over and we see it close with the flat top, we see it close over the trend line. Another good confirmation would be this second candlestick right here starts to form, and it then also closes above the trend line. All right. Now this would kind of help me make the judgment that the market is going to continue to go upwards. All right. Now let me see. I'm trying to think what another scenario would have been. Yeah, okay, so if the market would have continued, it would have continued to go up right here. And okay, so a lot of times unless you're like actively paying attention to it and you catch it, which is why I'm gonna make sure to, always remind y'all to set reminders on your trend lines so that you don't have to sit and watch the market all day. But you would have gotten an alert or whatever, or let's say you end up, missing this candlestick right here. A lot of times, like here or here is when you would have maybe entered a trade. All right, so you're not gonna always get it as soon as it crosses over. All right. The strategy is like super simple, man. I'm trying to tell y'all. My explaining skills just might not be the absolute best, but I'm gonna definitely make sure, the more that I do this, also I'll know, how to better explain this strategy. But if you take a look in the class and the Discord and stuff like that, I'll have better in-depth videos like from people who I've learned the strategy from. Different articles you can read to learn things, just so everything can be more in-depth, better than I can give it to you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that's gonna be it for just this. This was just me showing what my strategy is really quick. But I'm gonna get in depth a lot. I'm gonna get more in depth on a lot of different things, a lot of different simple things, and as well as my strategy. So man, I hope this video helps. Make sure y'all text in the chat or in the help category if you got any questions or what you might need help with, man. We can get on a live call anytime. Y'all just let me know.